Good morning. Good morning. We're here for a solemn occasion. We're here to give a message by Dr. Connor in memory of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. We're live on Facebook at facebook.com/Connor4Kids, the number 4Kids. And this is a solemn occasion because she was an icon for the highest court in the nation. We're going to be talking more about this, but people don't understand that there are three branches of the government: the judicial, the executive, and the legislative. She was top of the judicial judge as the Supreme Court, and she was iconic in her role. She was a champion of women's issues, and she earned the nickname Notorious RBG, named after the rapper Notorious Big. But she was a public figure and loved by the public, and today Dr. Connor is going to give a memorial in her name because of the things that she has done. Dr. Connor is an attorney, so this is close to his heart. Of course, being an attorney, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was the highest court in the nation. He's a servant of the underserved, and he is the champion of the nonprofit Voice of the Kids. Without any more background, I'd like to just turn it over to Dr. Connor. Dr. Connor, please give us your memorial.
Thank you very much, Gary, and good morning, everyone. As an attorney working in the legal field for over 2 decades and a child advocate, I feel that it is my responsibility to identify, recognize, and glorify an important individual who spent a considerable part of her legal career as an advocate for the advancement of gender equality and women's rights, winning multiple arguments before the Supreme Court. I'm sure you all know who I am talking about. It is none other than Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg of Supreme Court of United States of America. I'm very sad to say that she is no longer with us physically, as she passed away yesterday, Friday, September 18, 2020, in Washington, D.C. She was only 87. Our nation has lost a jurist of historic stature. Little bit about herself to show you all why we lost a nation's top jurist of the historic stature. In June 14, 1993, she was nominated by President Bill Clinton to the Supreme Court and started serving since August 10, 1993. She was only the second woman to ever serve on the Supreme Court. The retirement of the very first woman, who was Justice Sandra Day O'Connor in 2006, left Ginsburg as the only woman on the Supreme Court. She was born in 1933 in Brooklyn, New York, in a Jewish family. The same woman who could not get a job when she graduated from law school because no firm would hire her, to rise to become one of the most powerful legal minds and cultural icons in our nation. Thankfully, before she left us with some of her own words, instructions. I'll list a few of them. Number 1, she said, don't be distracted by emotions like anger, envy, resentment. These just zap energy and waste time. Breathe. Everyone breathe. Number 2, so often in life, things that you regard as an impediment turned out to be great good fortune. She said also, she forgot to tell us that when you are experiencing the impediment, it does not feel as if you will ever see the light, but that doesn't mean we should not move towards it. Number 3, she also said, real change, enduring change happens one step at a time. What will your next step to be? Continue her fight for justice. Number 4, I would like to be remembered as someone who used whatever talent I have had to do her work to the best ability. We will honor this. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Justice Ginsburg had a huge effect on the court, on the nation. I want to point out few of the milestones that cases she was involved with, which I wholeheartedly agree with and brought a major change in our nation. I cannot list all of them, but I'll just point out few important ones. In 1996, she wrote the most striking down the majority opinion called Virginia Military Institute's traditional male-only admission policy. Because of her today, women who wish to attend a military institute with a desire to protect and serve the country should be allowed to do so. In 1997, ruling, she wrote that a person who trades in securities for personal profit using confidential information misappropriated can be found guilty of violating Securities Exchange Commission's rules. Insider trading has been a surge on this economy, benefiting an inside group of people based upon information only they have access to. This is unfair, and Justice Ginsburg's opinion on this case was right on. We saw that many cases, many times. In 1999, she stated that under the Americans for Disability Act, are required to place persons with mental disabilities in community settings rather than in an institution with certain restrictions. The idea that those with mental disabilities should be required to be placed only in institution is an out-of-date and horrible idea. She was so open-minded. Most recently, in 2019, which was last year, ruling, she wrote that 8 amendments ban on excessive fines applies to states and local governments, not just federal government. Ginsburg developed a rock star status and earned the nickname called Notorious RBG. This is in the nod to the rapper Notorious B.I.G., Big. In speaking events across the country, she was greeted with standing ovations as she spoke about her view of her life, her law, and framed exercise routine. I'm very sad about the passing of Justice Ginsburg. She was an icon to be admired. Our nation has lost a giant. Thank you, Justice Ginsburg, for your life of fighting to our most vulnerable and championing true equality for all. History will remember you as a trailblazer and a voice for liberty and equality. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Khanna. Very, very well said. I just want to point out that the 2019 ruling just last year, strengthened the Eighth Amendment, because what local governments and state governments were doing were giving fines for people who broke a small part of the law that were outrageous. For instance, a man sold $225 of drugs, and then the state and local was charging him a fine of $42,000. And it had been stated in the Eighth Amendment that the government couldn't do it. That was the federal government, but local and state governments were taken advantage of. Well, we wholly support her opinion, and that was just recently. Dr. Khanna, we really appreciate you as an attorney and your opinion here. It's a sad day. We look forward to the strength of this country, and this is a time of mourning. Just want to say thank you very much, and we'll all see you.
Thank you very much, Gary.
We'll see you soon.